Hey race fans, welcome back to the Glory Days Grill Turn 5 turnaround for part 3 of our exclusive interview with Booper Bear here at the shop in Brownsburg, Virginia. And this is the race car we were talking about here in the background behind us. This is not a replica, this is an authentic, the actual race car that your father Tommy drove to a lot of victories. And of course his friend and teammate for years, Buzzy Walters, also drove this car to victory. And I tell you what, here's living proof. I don't know how well you can see this at home. There is a picture of this car in Victory Lane at East Lexington Speedway where Buzzy Walters won a race back in about 1972, 1973. And this is the car. And I'll tell you what, Booper, tell us a little bit about this car, the family tradition, and how is this car still here today in this great a condition?
Well, it was built here at the farm. Much different than what the cars are built today. I mean, you drug a car in from a junkyard. There was a hand tubing bender after they had tried to put sand in black iron pipe, heat it, bend it, found out that didn't work real well. A friend of theirs worked at a place that had a hand tubing bender where you could, like a Porter Power Works, and that was all done here at the farm. If you crashed it, and this car has had a front clip put on it, but it was put on much different than what they're put on today. It was right up here in the building next door, cutting torch and a stick welder. A lot of hours, a lot of time, and back then there was no such thing as a MIG welder. There was very few pop rivets used, so much different. But the car, it was my dad's and Buzzy's together, and both of them raced it to a lot of victories. So the car it raced here at home at the 4 racetracks at East Lexington, Natural Bridge, Craigsville, and Eastside regularly. Occasionally they took it to Withfield, to Virginia Motor Speedway, which was always known as Saluda back then. Right. Took it to Winchester. Then a neighbor of ours, Don Hart, ended up buying it from Buzzy, and he raced it to several victories throughout the mid-70s. And when he quit racing, he took it down behind his shop and left it for years and years and years. And I was hauling some scrap metal and picked up some old cars out there at his place. And he said, "You need to take that old race car back where it came from." And I think it was here 20 years or more. I propped it up on some barrels up here where we kept some old junk cars, and had a gentleman helping me one winter. And on rainy days when we couldn't work outside, he liked fooling with old cars, and I said, "Why don't we restore that old race car?" So I think during the winter of, I don't know, it was 05, 06, he started tinkering with it, and come close to spring of the year, we had it ready for paint, and took it and had it sprayed, and stuck an engine together. And we have all the original car, the motor's close to what we had then. The only piece of sheet metal that's not the original, we couldn't find the hood and the front bumper. And a guy that restored collectible cars nearby said that he had one that would suit it. So I think it's pretty neat to still have it all intact with original metal. It shows to me that there's a little more quality and stuff we used to have.
And this is Chevrolet, is that correct?
It's a 55 Chevy. 55
Chevy. And you were telling me before we went on air here that it would be nothing for your dad to race this in a 200 lapper at Eastside, and the following day race it in a 200 lapper at Natural Bridge. So race fans, comparing what a late model is today, and this was yesteryear's late model, if you can imagine driving 400 laps in 2 days in racing competition. And that's some of these pioneers, what they went through.
It's 3,600 pounds, no power steering, no rack and pinion, drum brakes, white t-shirt, blue jeans, goggles, and a helmet.
So you're saying maybe no late model drivers today should complain if they want to think back to the pioneer days?
No, I mean, the first cars we could get with power steering, I mean, it was a $1,000 option, and we went for many years and opted out on the power steering because it was $1,000 more back then. And now the cars we got, I know there's a lot of changes went in the technology of the cars, the front ends, the geometry, but you can more or less drive those cars with one hand. A good strong man, you can take one hand, put up and wipe your face shield, and still keep car control with your other hand. And it makes you chuckle a little bit when you go back and look at what's behind us and you look what's in front of us.
Right.
And I know technology has changed everything, but it's certainly, to people that enjoy racing and all the years of it, when you look at this and look at that, it's a lot to be said for what's went into it.
And race fans here in the shop, the Merritt Sprouse Chris Crummer car, the 83 that we're just in front of, is just right across of both cars here in the shop. I tell you, Booper, I could go on probably all day and talk to you about your history and all these great memories, but you know, here we are, Glory Days Grill Turn 5 turnaround, and you've been gracious enough to let us come in here to your shop. So I want to give you the opportunity to thank all the great people that are helping you this year, or maybe have helped you in the past, sponsors, everything, and whatever you would like to say to your fans out there that's watching.
All right. Well, certainly you'd like to thank all the people that's either helped financially or with time and labor through the years. A lot of those people go without enough credit. Randy has been with me the longest, Randy Walters. He's been around here helping me for nearly 20 years. I fuss at him that he don't have enough time to do it all the time, but we've all got families and commitments. But this year, we brought along a few of the product sponsors that had helped me for so long. Worldwide Racing Fuels, the supplier of our Sunoco race fuels. They've been with me for many years. Jimmy's Tree Service, one of Merritt's sponsors, and JC's Body Shop. If you want to call Port City Racing or Kaiser Manufacturing, the people that's come out with Integra shocks and springs, Wiles Dry Shafts, Poske's Performance Parts, Hoosier Tires, Master Built by Huey. We get our engines at DeVinny's in Stanton. We have an aluminum engine to do some super late racing by Roger, and we also have 2 of the steel block motors. So he's just 25 miles down the road, and he was an engine builder for Chris and Merritt, so no different to change. It was working for them. Weld Racing Wheels. We've used their wheels for a long time. Driving a Masterbuilt, something different. I drove one a time or two here and there through the years, but they've got an awful good handling car. You know, a little favorable to my number, but you know, likewise they're favorable to their number as well. So Designs has always done my decals for a long time, and he come on board, changed the color a little bit, and he doesn't let us go without decals from week to week. KRS Graphics, Kurt's been a real asset to my racing in the last several years. He's a distance away from us, but he always helps keep the website going. Calls and stays in touch with Randy about what's happening from night to night through the telephone or through text messages. So we have a lot of people that's through the years that's been avid supporters. Sometimes we won't see them for two weeks, sometimes 2 months, but we've never been without help. Sometimes we just have more of it than others.
Well, Booper, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much. Again, I want to thank Randy Walters, your crew member, our camera operator here tonight for Turn 5 turnaround. He also helped set up this interview. And again, coming up, Virginia Motor Speedway this Saturday for the Steel Block Bandits, where we see Booper Bear and Victor Lehner, another Bandit driver, one of the Virginia Motor Speedway late model drivers. You have to get over there to check it out. All right, thanks for joining us here on Glory Days Grill Turn 5 turnaround, seen on SteelBlockBandits.com. Thanks, race fan.